Hey all of you, hope you guys are great. So in the last video, we have built the functionality of change password. So if a user change his password, then we have to invalid all the existing token which user have created at the time of creating an account, at the time of logging. Okay, so make sure to watch. That one is a very important part. In this video, we're going to do some important and advanced level of setting in our Postman. So when it's come to building an application, whether it's an API or a front-end application, environment is very important. And you have already seen that we have two different environment in our API. One is production and the other one we have is the development one. And that's the environment we're going to set, because some of the error we want to see for the user and some of the error we want to see for the developer, both are the different one. So okay, so on the base of the environment we have to do the functionality. So first let's build the environment in our Postman, and to do that all you have to do is come here. Here you have this button, click on that, and from here you have two different environment. One is normal environment and the other one is have a global environment, but we're going to go with the normal environment because we have to create two different environment, and that's what we are using in our API. So to create an environment, click on this add, and here you will land. So here you have to define all the variable which you want to define in the environments. Okay, but here we're going to build the environment based on the URL. So let me call this, just follow along with me, make sure to you do the same setups. So here I'm going to say development env, stand for environment, that's the short, and here I have to define the variables. So the first variable is going to be the URL. This is the URL, and the type is going to be default, and here I have to define the URL. So currently our API is located on the local server, in our local server, and this is the URL for the local host. So I'm going to simply say http, and here I have to say 227 point this and 3000. So this is currently where my API hosted it, and you may have the same one. Okay, so make sure to type the exact one, and that's the environment variable we have defined, which is a URL, and save it. So this is the one environment variable for the development. You can add multiple. So simply close this one, and now let's for the development, sorry, production. And here I have already created a couple of environment, you can see, for different applications. So right now I have given this development env, and I'm going to add one more. So let's come here, click on this, and again you have to click here, and here we have to say, we'll say production env, and the same thing, same variables we have to pass URL, and we don't have any domain or we don't have any server where our data is going to locate. Okay, so for the time being I will go with a random, let's say, domain name. So I'll call it, let's say, nft.com. you can type whatever you want, and I'll say the same thing here, because when you will buy your own domain name, when you will buy your own server, you will get a new URL and you can assign that here. But right now we don't have that. We'll go like this, because obviously right now we're not going to test this. Once we connect in the application, at that time we're going to do that. So that looks fine. Come here and save it, and we have this two environment in our Postman. So development, and we have this production. So close this one, and here we are back in the code. So if you bring it up here, and here you can see in the terminal we are currently in the development mode. So we are in the development, and from here we can set the development environment because we are in the development mode, and here we have to do the important changes. So right now you can see that all the endpoints we have built, whether it's a create account, login, get all data, post data, our localhost URL. So we're going to simply replace that, because right now we have converted that as a global variable in our Postman. So we can use that global variable because currently we have selected development environment. So what we can do, we can simply remove that, and here we can provide this bracket. Make sure to provide a two bracket, one more bracket inside the bracket, and in that you have to pass this URL variable which we have declared URL. And if you over on that, you can see right now we are in the development environment, and this is the URL variable we are using. So it's a shorthand, and this will save a lot of bug. This will save your life, because when you will work in a real world application, obviously we're going to do that, you will have multiple endpoints, thousand or maybe hundreds of endpoints you have. So just imagine that if you have to change that manually, that will take almost so much time of yours to do those changes. And this is the best way to do set as a variable, and you have to do the changes in one place, and the changes will take in all the places. Okay, so this is the environment variable we have. It looks fine. You can see the variables on overing on that, and now you can simply make a call. So if you make a call, and here you can see this is the response you got. Okay, I made a mistakes, so cannot find dash slash slash API v3. Okay, so I think I have a double slash, that's why it's getting. So let's come here and let's come back to the get, and let's replace this as well. Replace this double bracket inside the bracket, and we have to type URL. So if you overrun that, you can see the connected. Click on the request, and still I'm getting the same error. Why it's happening? Okay, I remember that what is the problem. So I have provided this extra slash, so simply remove that. If you make a request, and you can see it's working in the same way, we can easily able to get all the data. Same thing we have to do in the post. So click on this, and here I have to simply remove this one. If I remove, and if I make a request, I can see this is the error which I had got, and it says that validation error, because like in our data model we have defined that summary is must, but we are not providing summary. That's why we are getting this validation error. That's not the point, but you can see it's working fine. Our endpoint is working fine. Let's do the changes in all the routers. Okay, because this router will grow eventually, because we have to build for the review, we have to build for the users, so a lot of router we're going to build. So let's quickly change in all of that. If you come to the production, you can see if you over on this, you will have the production URL which you have provided, nft.com. so it's working fine. All you have to do is to switch the environment, and you can easily able to get all the variables. So now it's look good. Let me close and save all of this tab. So let me quickly do that. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply change all of these. So let me do it very quickly. So here I have changed all the URLs, all the endpoints we have created. So make sure to do that and simply close all of that. And let's close it. And now we have come to get. So what I can do, simply come here, and this is the one we have to fix it. So if we come back in the user sign up, and here we have this one. Okay, so let's remove this one and try to remove this and come back to the user login, and let's come back to the user sign up. And here what we can do is let's change the email ID, because I want to create a user. So click on this get request, and here I have this user. You can see this is the user is created, and we have the token. We can click on this test. Okay, we are in the user sign up, and we are clicking the test. Okay, so here we have to define the variable. And if you look at here, if I can scroll out here, you can able to find all the variables which you can set. So the one I want is this. So where it is here is we have a set and environment variable. So the moment you click on that, it will give you this snippet. Okay, so PM stand for Postman environment set value key and its value. So in the value key, we're going to say JWT. Okay, the way we have defined the URL, and that's what we are defining. So here I'm defining JWT, and here I have to define, and in the variable value I have to define the entire token, and that's very easy, we can get it. So if I come here, all I have to do is simply remove that. We'll say PM Postman dot response dot JSON and here we have to come here. So here you can see every time we are creating a user or login, we are getting this token. So that's the variable we're going to pass here, because this is what we are getting in response. So we'll simply copy that and simply paste here, and that's it. That's the only thing you have to do. In this way, you can easily able to update no matter what, how many times you are creating the user or login. This will always update our JWP token. So that looks fine. So here we have, you can see the moment you save it, you will have this green tick on the text. That looks fine to me. Now let's bring this up. If you come to the header, and here you can able to find in the body, looks fine to me. Let's change this to something SSS, and if we create that, make a request, you can see this is the token we have created. So this is the exact token we have. If you come here, if you click on this to check whether the data is updated, the JWT token is updated or not. So if you click on that, here you will find, so this is the first URL we have set. the variable, and this is the second one, jwt. Okay, I keep mispronouncing this, jwt. And here you can see the variable is updated. This entire variable is updated. This one looks pretty fine to me. Now what we can do, we can come back here in the get, and here you can see that here we are providing this authorization manually, and we're going to change this behavior because right now we have that as a global variable. So if you make a request, you can see this is the response we are getting. Now I'm going to simply turn this on, and if I make a request, I'm not able to log in. Okay, you are not logged into access. Okay, so this is the error message we are displaying now. Now we're going to call that jwt. So let's come here in the authorization section, and here we have to set that variables. So if you click on that, here we have this bear token. If you click on that bear token, and here we have to define the jwt. So double bracket, make sure the same thing you have to do, double bracket, inside that another bracket, and here we have to pass that variable jwt. Okay, and now you will automatically have that. So if you save it, you can see the moment you can easily able to provide that in the authentication section. And if you click on the send request, and here you can have the access of all the data. And here we have the header. If you click on the header, and here you can see we are not passing any authorization, any payload, any token here in the authorization, and it's looked fine. What I can do, I can simply come here and I can delete this because I no longer need that one. So bring that, and I can simply log into the application. We are in the header section, and here you can see we have 7 hidden. If you click on that, here you can able to find that it will automatically fill out all these data. So we have this authorization, postman token, host, user agent, accept encoding, connection. So it will automatically update all of these fields for you. So hope this entire thing makes sense. So you can easily able to see the data, and you can turn it off and turn it on. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So these are the important setups you have to do. So I believe that you have learned something new in this video, and you know that how to do the advanced setting, advanced configuration in your Postman, which will save your life. With that, let's move to the next video.